Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Monday morning meeting with the Insurance Brothers. I am Ryan Matheson.
Andy Matheson. Hope you guys are having a good morning so far.
Back from Texas,
Yes,
recruiting director of sales. Just to kind of give you a quick update, we're open in Colorado, Arizona, California, Texas, Oregon, Washington, Kansas, and Missouri.
Yeah, that's correct.
So,
And we're
yeah.
we're hitting the ground pretty heavily. And shoot, I got a few lined up. How about yourself?
Yeah. I've probably had about 75 interviews over the past 3 weeks. So really trying to narrow down the best candidates. So we try not to use this forum to promote our own stuff.
Sure.
We want to bring value to the sales industry, but I always like to mention, a little self-promotion never hurts. So how was your weekend?
Excellent.
Nice.
Got out, saw a comedy show, Aziz Ansari. That guy
I
is
love it.
excellent.
I love it.
Yes. And actually got a couple's massage with the wifey.
So. A sensual massage?
Yes. How about yourself?
Family stuff.
Yeah,
family stuff.
that's how it goes.
Some home improvements.
Yeah.
Did a little bit of that. Got to the gym. Try to get the swole mate on. You know
There
what
you
I
go.
mean?
You gotta get that out of it somehow.
Yeah, GTL.
Good for you.
Yeah, went well. So hopefully everybody enjoyed our segment last week. We really appreciate Sean Mullen coming on talking about some extra lead gen stuff, most specifically social media, as well as automating your sales process, which I know if you were here, you would have had good insight on that as well.
No doubt. And Sean is the right man to have on the show. That guy knows what he's talking about. He does it right. He's very automated and streamlined, and it helps make him more efficient. So he's definitely someone to listen to. And we'll have him back on for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And the nice thing about the way Sean runs his business, and really a lot of top salespeople, if you're a top salesperson, you kind of relate to this, but you understand where your value time is better spent. And you're better spent prospecting and nurturing clients, not paperwork and monotonous things, in the middle of the sale. So anything that you can automate on that side to really get you in front of the right prospects is the goal. So yeah, we really like that.
Yeah, we're starting to do it more and more on our end, and we're just seeing the fruits come along even better. The things you just truly shouldn't have to worry about. Take care of that stuff as much as possible on the automation. So see what you can do to make that happen.
Yeah, I love fruits. The fruits are there. I love it.
You would go there.
I love it. Nice. So real quick, just as an overall topic that I've been thinking about this week, I posted a video on it earlier last week, just as the sales industry as a whole and what it's meant to me. But I thought I'd get your opinion on what sales has meant to you.
Excellent.
So,
I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
In many different industries, sales always applies. Whether you're a waiter and you're trying to upsell the hot item on the menu, or you mentioned car sales.
Yeah.
I've of course purchased many cars, and I see how these car salesmen get to you. It's interesting. That's kind of something that swayed me to even come to Colorado Insurance. Just seeing how people have their tactics, their strategies in many different industries. You kind of recognize what those are, and you can implement them on your own in specifically what we do in the insurance world and what you guys do out there. So for me, it was always just taking what other people have done, seeing how their strategy is, and trying to make that my own. And then when I'm doing that out in the field with folks that I'm trying to really just persuade to work with me or get to know and have them work with me, that's a sales strategy in and of itself. So you're taking your own tactics and you're trying to make them as valuable as you can to turn it into something, a good result. So that's what it was like for me.
I find it interesting for you because you were never one to want to get into sales.
Exactly.
Like that was not your thing. And that's totally fair. And I think in this day and age with technology and, all the different opportunities career-wise that you can go into that have something to do with sales, I think you can really carve out a niche.
Yeah.
That's not so like pound the pavement, 200 calls a day, that type of sales is more of a guerrilla mindset where you've been able to carve out, more of a sales opportunity that fits, what you were looking for.
Yeah. So. And admittedly, there's many different types of sales, whether you're the physical, phone call and trying to get the client to buy in. That's of course one thing. The other thing is just trying to get to understand where you're going to provide value and you're teaching your ways based on your experiences. And my ways was always just marketing, getting people to understand that what we're doing is valuable. That is a sales tactic. That is getting someone to buy into what you're offering.
Yeah.
So that was my way of doing it.
You're a persuader.
Sure.
You're a persuader.
Charming. Will we go there?
I've got an excellent idea I want to run across you.
Yes. So marketing is a sales tactic.
Absolutely. Recruiting.
Yes.
I mean, recruiters are salespeople all day long, whether you're selling a product, you're selling an idea, you're selling an opportunity,
believe in your pitch.
Yeah.
And know what you're talking about. It's going to work. It's a tactic. So.
Yep. Awesome. I love it. All right, let's move on to the main topic of the week, which is building rapport. Something you're really good at.
Shoot,
everybody loves you.
I'm gosh, I appreciate
it's so
that.
Nice. Well, except for that one guy. I don't know about that one guy.
Well, he was being an asshole.
That guy was rude.
I don't know who you're speaking about.
I have no idea. There's got to be somebody. So building rapport in a sale. Obviously, you've heard about it before as a salesperson. It's imperative. The most important thing about building rapport on a sale is understanding how much time and energy you're going to invest into that prospect. Knowing your product, knowing how much you have to sell in order to achieve your goal, in order to achieve the income that you're wanting to hit. That dictates how much time you're going to invest in each prospect.
Yeah. I mean, and the other thing too is if you have someone on the other side of the phone or in person and they want to chit chat for a little bit, allow them to chit chat. I'm sure it'll probably end up helping your sale.
Yep.
That's in my world. I always kind of, again, you want to mock the person on the other side. If they're chatty, you're going to be chatty.
The mirroring.
We've talked about that before. So this is going to be similar when you're building rapport. Let that person chat if they want to be that person.
Yep.
So
it's
going to be like that.
And so think about the industry that you're in right now, whether you're selling real estate, mortgage, insurance, maybe you're selling cars, maybe you're selling life insurance, depending on what you're selling, understand how much time and rapport you want to build with your prospect. If you're selling real estate, you're doing a lot less transactions on a monthly basis, but you're making more money per transaction. And I hate to relate prospects to money, but with salespeople at the end of the day, and prospects don't get offended, but time is money. And it doesn't mean you don't value that prospect just as much, but at the end of the day, you've got to, weigh the rewards of, how much time you're going to spend. So again, with real estate, you're going to develop a lot more rapport. You're going to spend a lot more time and energy into understanding that person, getting to know that person, befriending that person.
Yeah. At the end of the day, that's going to be the most beneficial for you anyways, befriending them essentially as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
And you know your transaction better than we do, but if it takes longer, go ahead and approach it that way. If you need to just get down to it, you still want to build rapport, don't get me wrong, but you're just going to cut to the chase as quickly as you can.
Yeah.
So you guys know your process better.
So let's focus on the more high volume sales where you're looking to do 2 to 3 a day.
Yeah.
And that's really where I want to focus this segment on for now. And this is kind of an art form. So let's kind of walk you through the basics of building rapport on the front end. And Andy is perfect. He's very right with the mirroring thing. That always, you should be doing that on every rapport building conversation.
It's a comfort level for everyone, really. You guys don't know where you stand with that prospect from the get-go, so you're just trying to feel each other out.
Yep.
And if you can get that accomplished right away, it's going to end up obviously helping you out.
So don't right when you get on the phone with a prospect or right when you meet somebody in person, don't jump right into your sale. All right, John, so what are you looking for? What can I do? What can I do for you? There's got to be some sort of 2 to 4 minute feeling out portion, and that comes from you. Understand who you're talking to and find some way to relate. Doesn't matter what it is.
So one of the things that we always suggest to our people is we live in Colorado, and we always say, talk to the person about how long they've lived in Colorado. So, hey, John, how long have you lived here? Oh, a couple years. Great. So do you have any family here? And you kind of get to know what their surroundings are like, what their network is like. And by the way, that ends up being a good opportunity for current client referrals down the road. So if you get to know their network and who they are, their family and their friends, you're asking those questions because it's more of a comfort thing.
I want to know who you know.
Yeah, my cousin, my brother, my aunt, they all live here, all that kind of thing, all those kind of things. That kind of help get, settle into the conversation a little bit better. That's some rapport right there.
Yeah, that's a great point. And you can build rapport off anything. Notice, their phone number, where they're from. Oh, I see you're from Kansas. Oh, I went to college in Kansas. Oh, You're a Jayhawk? Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's easy way to build rapport with things like that. You know, maybe something, you know, about your sale. Oh, you're buying a house. Did you just move here? Where'd you move from? Chicago? Oh, I've got a buddy from Chicago. I love going there. I visit once a year. It's fantastic. Get them talking about what they know and like. And that's where people get more comfortable with you. And it's an automatic trust factor on your sales.
Speaking of trust, if they don't know the market very well, it's an education opportunity. You're saying, oh, the market here is crazy. You know, jump on a house as quickly as you can if you're buying one, because that thing's going to be gone before you know it. So if they're new to town, educate them on these surroundings and kind of where they are now. So that's an opportunity.
So now focusing back in on that kind of high volume sale, you know, position, here's where you want to make sure that you keep them on what we call the straight line. And Jordan Belfort talks about this in his straight line persuasion seminar. We love it. Let people talk about themselves, but don't let people go off on a tangent. Talk about their dog and their wife's flower garden and, you know, how they ate a salad last night for dinner. And, you know, make sure that you understand that that 2 to 4 minute period on the phone is plenty of rapport building. And now it's time to get down to business. So your job is to not abruptly stop what they're saying, but to lead them back in.
Transition.
Yeah. Oh, that's, you know, Chicago sounds awesome. Well, cool. Well, tell me, you know, kind of what you have going on with your insurance situation. You know, bring them back in and get them back in on the straight line. And this is where a lot of salespeople that are in a high volume transaction business go wrong. Because you could spend an hour talking to that guy and you don't know if he's going to buy or not. And when your time is money, you know, that goes a long way.
So you're going to want to have a couple of questions that you're going to pose. And these are just standard questions that you want to always have on the top of your head that you use in all of your transactions. This helps transition and identify the problem so they can start speaking about their current problem, and you're looking to give that solution to the problem. So once they state what that problem is, it now becomes your problem, and you're going to identify with it, and you're going to help make that solution happen. So that's the objective there. So have a few questions that you're identifying right away that you kind of use every time.
And keeping them on that straight line down the process. Again, building rapport as you go, but not letting them stray so far off the line of getting them to the end of the sale that you blow it or you lose sight of really what you're trying to accomplish. You're not a therapist, all right? Maybe you are, but in this case, you're not, okay? Your job is to lead them down the road and, you know, show them why your product is valuable, blah, 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 blah.
There's these checkpoints that you're trying to hit throughout the conversation. And that's kind of those opportunities to move this conversation along.
So let's move down to the end of the sale. And this is probably the biggest mistake I see salespeeple make, and it drives me freaking nuts. Drives me nuts.
Let's hear about it. Jeez, I don't know.
Oh my God. It drives me crazy. And it's not overselling, but understand when the prospect is closed.
I know where you're going with this.
Right? Yeah. If your prospect is ready to buy, don't keep hammering them with more value proposition of why they should keep wanting to buy from you.
It's over. You did it.
You sold them. They're ready to rock and roll. They're ready to buy. And I've literally seen such extreme circumstances where somebody will talk their prospect who is ready to buy out of a sale, that is ready to go, for the sheer fact that they're saying, write me up. I'm ready to rock and roll. Send me the quote. Yeah. How can I give you my money? My wallet is in my hand. Stop talking. Yeah. Stop talking about value and, you know, more this, that, the other. My product also does this, and it does. Oh, by the way, Carol I just sold the other day, she said this about it. It's like, shut up. Hang up the phone.
Not only are you wasting your time, you're wasting their time, and you could have already moved on to your next sale.
You're blowing it. So understand when your prospect is ready to rock and roll, and that's it. Yeah. You did it. And let them come back to you if they need more reasons why they should buy still. And that just means that, you know, they weren't ready to buy, or something about the process that they thought about, you know, they didn't like, and you got to work harder. That's okay. That's fine.
Sure.
But again, if they're ready to buy, shut up, hang up the phone, you know, end the conversation at that. Yeah. And if you really like that person so much, talk about something else. But at the end of the day, understand when your prospect is sold and you did a good job of building rapport, and it's done and you're on to the next. So Very important.
Extremely valid points there. And again, we've seen it over and over again. Just don't be that guy, right?
Don't be that guy.
You know,
I've got like 5 in my head right now, and it drives me nuts.
I know. But, you know, and it's a learning curve.
Yeah.
You know, you don't, maybe some people just don't know how to identify if they've made that sale happen already. So I get it.
Yeah.
Right? It's a learning curve with everything. Just recognize that there is a point that you've made it happen and there's no need to speak anymore.
Congratulations, you did it.
Yeah. So just be aware, guys. That's all we're saying.
So that's pretty much all I have on rapport building for today. Again, understand the volume of sales that you need to do in order to hit your numbers and hit your revenue goals, your income goals, and make sure that you allot a certain amount of time per prospect accordingly. Sure. So again, don't spend 10 hours on someone that you make $100 on. Yeah. Spend 10 hours on someone that you make $5,000 on. And again, I hate to relate prospects to income, but when you're in a sales business, especially in a commission only, your time is money. And again, it doesn't mean that you don't value your prospect. That's not what I'm saying. It means you got to be able to shorten your sales process in order to touch more people. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. So
it's a formula, and it'll take time for you to get that figured out. But again, get those checkpoints in order. What are those questions that you're trying to identify? Have those established and utilize it.
Keeping them on that straight line. So that's all I have for this week. Yeah. I hope you guys found value in this meeting. Again, send us your questions, post on the video. We want to hear your thoughts. Yeah. And next week, we're hoping to have a special guest on. We're in negotiations right now. It's very heavy negotiations.
Quite a process. So, it's going to be great. He's one of the best in the business. I don't know if you want to identify who that is.
No, because then if he doesn't show up, I'm going to be embarrassed.
Fair enough. These are, like you said, strong negotiations.
Yeah. So we're hoping to have a special guest on next week. In the meantime, again, send us any questions. And I wish you all a successful week of selling. Do not procrastinate. Implement this stuff into your business now. There's always next day, next week, next month. That does not help you. Implement these strategies today and be a better salesperson today.
Yeah, we're almost finishing up month 2 of the year. So we're heading into March soon. So
it's crazy. We're going to be in second quarter before you know it. So if you're not meeting your goals, it's time to change some things that you're doing. So
good stuff, guys.
That's all we have for this week. Have a successful week. You have anything else?
Just that this is a fantastic pocket square. Good work.
I love it, man. On point. The Jesse game is on point. So, all right, guys, we appreciate your time.
Good stuff. Go get it.